Hi everyone, welcome to the Sisi God Show. Today I have a very unique guest. We have world champion Franchon Dezurn. She is a unified champion signed to Goldenboy Promotion, a really amazing company and well known in the boxing industry. And let me tell you, this woman is so amazing because she's a diva outside the ring. Okay, not only a diva outside the ring, but she also can sing. She has an incredible voice, and she essentially wanted to become a singer, but she was so good at boxing that, she's become so successful in that sport. And the reason why today I wanted to interview her is not only because, first of all, this episode's not going to be enough to talk about her story. I'm sure that, her story is so unique. But what I really wanted to touch on, and I wanted our ladies to know, is that not only is she a world champion, she's a wife, okay, to a boxer as well that's a professional, fighter. But she's a world champion, and not only that, but her last fight, which I strongly recommend you guys to go check out because it was all over YouTube. It went super viral. I mean, she was tested. Sometimes in life and success, you are going to be tested. You're going to be tested, meaning like, how bad do I want this? And how bad do I want to be that successful? Well, she was already a champion. Let's just put it out there. This woman was already a champion. She already had her belts, but she was tested with her belts in the sense that when she was fighting, the girl that she was fighting in the ring, there came a moment where it became challenging. Imagine, I don't even picture us women, fighting in the ring, but she had so much courage and strength in the sense that her own hair that she came off. We all wear extensions, we all wear wigs sometimes and things like that. And she's an entertainer, she's a woman like us, a diva, a beautiful woman who just was wearing her hair, and her hair came off. And when her hair came off, her trainer sat in her corner and told her, listen, do you want the hair or do you want the belt? And she said, I want that belt. And whoa, she fought like a black phoenix. And I'm going to let you guys hear from her perspective and hear from her. But I just really wanted to touch up on that moment because that moment was so important to me in the sense that in life, you're going to be tested in the sense that they're in the world with your dream. How bad do you really want it? How bad do you really want that career? How bad do you really want that job? How bad do you want that business to be successful? So she was so tested with her belt in the sense that she said, you know what? Fuck that hair. I want that belt and I'm going to get that belt. And wow, that was so inspirational for me and inspirational for the audience that was there. She showed such strength. She showed such heart, and I fell so in love with her at that moment in another way, in the sense that I said, wow, if I want to reach a certain level of success and I want to get to somewhere, I need to want it so bad that the other stuff don't matter. And I feel that it's important that we take that moment to really sink in and really say to ourselves, how bad do I really want it? How bad do I really want to achieve my goal and achieve, my purpose of life and my dream? And, we're going to hear from the champ herself. I want to welcome here Franchon Dezurn, world champion, fashionista, wife, and she's a boxer signed to Goldenboy. How are you doing today, Franchon?
I am doing great. It's a little gloomy outside, but it's bright in my light, and I'm just trying to magnify that to everyone out there.
Well, you look amazing. You look great. You are essentially a diva, like I say, outside of the ring and inside of the ring. And I just wanted to know, what have you been up to in terms of quarantine? Your friends want to know and the audience want to know, what have you been up to?
Well, much like everyone else, getting my little eat on. But this has been the time just to get things into focus and just dig down inside of myself, because when so much kind of negativity is going around, you can get distracted and a little unmotivated. But I mean, things are opening up. I had a conversation with my promoter. So, once things start going within the next 2 months, I should be back in the ring. I'm making some big life changes. I don't like to speak on them until they're done, but it's a good thing. Sewing and just, really connecting with my fans a lot more, because everyone's tuning into their phones or they're watching TV. So having that opportunity means a lot to me.
Wow, that's great. You've touched on some great points here. One being in terms of, I've used to be a person like that has such a big heart, and that you want to tell people what you're onto in terms of the projects, but sometimes things happen sometimes when you get overly excited and share. So we'll definitely follow your journey and be on the lookout. Also, I wanted to say, in terms of boxing, the fans have been going crazy. I mean, we've been following your social media. We see you and your husband, Glenn, who is actually a professional boxer, training together. Speak to me a little bit about that, being a relationship, being in a relationship and being two competitive fighters. How is it?
That's a great word, competitive. Like, that should be his middle name and mine too. It's a great dynamic. It's very unique, because being competitive with one another over the years, we've been together 8 or 9 years. We've kind of learned, and we're still learning how to navigate those boundaries, because I'm all in it. When Glenn fights, I'm like his training partner, his ride or die, his mitt man, whatever. So him being an alpha male, sometimes if I say something like, "Why are you not doing that?" and him also being an elite athlete, he's a 3-sport athlete. And if I say certain things, he's like, "Hold up, I got this shit." Excuse my French. But it's just cool that we can switch those different hats. And when I'm training, he goes into he's my training partner, not my coach, but he goes into staying on me about every little thing. And at first he used to annoy me, but I know that everything he says is from love and it's, for my best interest. So once we got over those things, this quarantine's been a breeze, honestly. We both like to eat, so sometimes we're fighting. I'll be eating, trying to judge him, and he's like, "Look at you, you're eating." So we just getting through all of that.
No, it's super cute, honestly. I've been watching you guys on social media, him training you, and he's so tough on you, but you always say he knows how to touch those buttons. And you would have, you guys are essentially a team. You guys are married, and today where you're at, you're a world champion, obviously because of your hard work, but also too, I'm sure that he played a factor in motivating you and being a great partner, next to you and the husband. I also wanted to say, in terms of our audience, how did you get into boxing? Because I say this to you all the time. You have many talents. A lot of people may not know, but you're a diva, you're a fashion designer, you have that talent, you can sing. Oh boy, you have the best voice. Why did you choose boxing?
Well, boxing chose me. Yeah, I love singing. I was actually on American Idol years ago, when it first started, and that was my biggest aspiration. But boxing just came, and I've always been a fighter. I used to get in trouble in school for fighting, and the opportunity came and I seized it. They say you can lose 5 pounds in one day with boxing. While I was in the studio recording some music, and I say, you know what, let me go to the boxing gym and see what it's about. And it's just the lure of it and just the challenge of it, and it's kept me in its grasp for so many years, and it's actually changed my life, giving me opportunities to have a bigger platform, travel the world, meet all these great people, and actually become part of not only U.S. history but world history. So best choice I ever made.
Absolutely. I mean, you've made a great choice, and you say that boxing chose you in the sense, but a lot of people choose boxing and, they want to do it and they think that it's super easy and, that they're going to be successful and that they're going to be world champions. But for you to say, to become a world champion and have these many talents, I mean, and boxing being a platform is just, it's incredible.
Yeah, well, boxing is, like you said, a lot of people get into it and think, oh, I'm going to get into it and be a world champion. When I got into it, social media wasn't as huge as it is now. Like, you have some people who go make a sparring video and they get picked up by promoters and everything. But I really had to navigate, and women's boxing is also exploding more now. We went through a period when it wasn't as popular as it is now. I just had to grind from the mud. Like, I didn't have the big entourage or PRs or people pushing me. I was just like, hey, I could fight. They knew every time I showed up, I could fight. And it also turned me into a renaissance and businesswoman to navigate these foreign waters and to build the brand that I felt represented me, because a lot of people get into certain businesses and they conform to what others think. But what you see is what you get. The Heavy Hitting Diva brand is definitely authentic and it's growing, So I'm just blessed for that.
I definitely see it growing. I see you, getting into many projects, and I'm just so, so proud. And I've told you this, you're one of my favorite boxers, and I'm really happy that, women's boxing is definitely taking a turn. I'm super in love with women's boxing, and you're one of you are my favorite boxer in the sense that the sense that
what the beautiful thing is with when you say women's boxing and how it has grown so much. You have us as athletes, women boxers, literally, but the women in boxing has grown a lot. Like, having the media personalities like yourself, you have the women on different networks, you have the female promoters. So it's just a crazy time right now, and I'm just so happy that we could be a part of it.
Absolutely. I mean, you've touched on great things. A lot of interesting things are happening in boxing in terms of, media. And, I hope that it can grow so much more. And essentially that, I really hope that women's boxing ends up being like men's boxing, essentially, because I don't think that, it's fair. I'll be honest with you. And I do feel as though you guys, I've watched your fights, especially your fights I'm speaking about. I am so entertained to the point that I'm like, wow, like I'm getting off my seat. As you said, you come to the fights to fight. You're not just a diva. And that's why you're so relatable, and I love you because you're a fashionista, which, women love fashion and they love, a diva, but yet you can actually fight. And you have such a great personality in terms of like outside the ring that sometimes I'm like, wow, like I can't even picture you being so great.
God just got real excited when he made me. He just put a little bit of everything, because I don't know what's going on, but I'm just doing it to the fullest.
Absolutely. I mean, I wanted to touch a little bit on your last fight in terms of the fuck the hair movement. I thought that was so, oh my God, did it touch me so hard in terms of me being a woman. And if you could explain us what that movement is.
Okay, yeah, so fuck the hair, I want the belts is a movement that was created from my last fight, where I had a hair mishap. Like, you basically got Real Housewives or Love and Hip Hop times 20. Like, we could actually hit each other. And my opponent that I fought, she actually was on PED, so she tested positive for steroids, which is really dangerous, because not only does it affect the person that's taking it, it enhances the person who takes it to the point that it felt like you were in there with a man, like the strength and everything. So, I'm just blessed to have my health. But in the ninth round of that fight, I was at a crossroads because it was a difficult fight to get through, but I got through. And my coach asked me, did I want the hair or did I want the belts? Because my unit started coming off in the middle of the fight. And I just said, I could see my whole life before my eyes. And I'm very passionate about my career, my life, and so much, everything I built. And he said, do you want the hair? Do you want the belts? And I said, fuck that hair. I want the belts. And at that moment, I was in there. I didn't have my hair cornrowed under, but I was in my rawest form. And I felt like the Black Phoenix. And I went out there and fought my heart out. And I didn't get the technical decision, but it was very close split decision. I thought I won the fight. And on numbers, I won the fight. But they gave it to her. But, no weapon formed against you shall prosper. And when they found out that she tested positive for steroids, I was given one of my belts back. So, fuck that hair. Never, your hair doesn't have to be a unit. It could be something that's holding you back in your fears. Like, I'm scared of public speaking, but, you're about to graduate and you have to give the commencement speech. Fuck that hair. Go out there and give that speech. They say you might not be qualified for a job. Fuck that hair. Go out there and try, And it's people have received it well. And rather than, fret over a embarrassing moment, I made the most of it and took a negative and made it a positive and spread it around the world. So fuck that hair. I want the belts.
Yeah, absolutely. Fuck the hair. I want the belts was such a important moment. I mean, I remember watching that fight, and after the fight, your other opponent, she said something like, oh my God, she hit so hard, or like, she said that you hit so hard. And so, I don't know, watching that fight back, I just had shivers. Like I felt like something was wrong, in the sense that I knew you were, you came there to work and you were putting in work, but I just felt something was wrong with her. I don't know how to feel it. And I remember I was trying to reach out to you so badly to try to say something is off here. Something is not right. And
yeah, everybody saw it. I felt it. And I had said we were supposed to fight back in September of 2019, but apparently her visa wasn't granted. And I said I had suspicions then, and I had suspicions before the fight, and I had suspicions after the fight. And, women's intuition never lies. So I'm just happy, not only for myself, but to bring light to that's a growing problem in women's boxing and boxing, period. And we need to always try to keep the athlete's health at the forefront. Even though we're entertaining, we're going out there in our own recall, but we need to make sure we keep each other safe and keep a clean sport.
Absolutely. You've touched on a very important aspect in terms of having a clean sport, because boxing is no joke. You don't come here to play, you essentially are fighting in the ring for your life. I've seen it, I've, experienced it in being in the forefront of it, and having, my ex-partner go through that, and it was so difficult to watch. And to imagine being put in a situation where another fighter is unclean and could jeopardize your whole entire life. I mean, that is, you're so lucky, to have your health, because that is insane.
I'm still traumatized from it, and even Glenn went through a situation, not with his opponent tested positive. He had a showcase on Showtime Network, and in the second round, he literally ripped his shoulder, like his shoulder tendon ripped. So he was fighting with one arm, but the fact that they were both clean was a blessing. But that could have been a situation, where he could have lost his life. So, like you said, we can't play boxing.
Yeah, you guys can't play boxing, and essentially already people do get hurt when unfortunately things happen, that sometimes injuries and accidents do happen in the ring. And to know that somebody's intentionally taking enhancement in order to it's so it's scary. And I'm just so happy to see that you're healthy. And imagine somebody taking enhancement, and you still put on that fight, you still hurt her what she said.
Look, you gotta forget when that wig came off. I from my ancestors and everybody, like you gonna catch paid.
Wow. No, honestly, I totally felt that moment. Every woman in that moment was like, oh hell no, this
Yeah,
sister needs to, oh hell no, she needs to win. So we were riding for you. And
thank you.
you showed so much courage, so much strength. And to be vulnerable and be out there. As women, we have all these accessories. We like to wear our hair, we like to wear our things. You showed that the importance was your belt and your passion. And honestly, wow, like you showed such big
I
heart. I
said
applaud you.
Glenn always put before, we always have like our mission statement before we take fights. And this fight wasn't even just based on, skill, technique. He told me when we took the fight, like 4 weeks or 6 weeks before, he said, you're going to have to fight with your soul. So everything I did, I trained with my soul rather than, I focused on skill, but he already had saw it beforehand. Like it's probably going to be a situation where you gonna have to dig deep and fight with your soul. And I just felt, like I said, the Black Phoenix. I was in hell and I fought hard to make heaven, and I made heaven. I'm still a world champion, still unified world champion. I'm already claiming that. And I'm just here to represent for strong women everywhere.
Absolutely, you are definitely the unified champion. And I would strongly encourage our audiences to get a look at Franchon's Instagram page. And what is your handle, if you don't mind me asking?
On Twitter and Instagram is at the HHDIVA. So the HH Diva, THEHHDIVA. And on Facebook is Franchon Dezurn, the heavy hitting diva.
Perfect. We're gonna look into that. If you guys want a fuck the hair t-shirt, I strongly recommend. I need to get one, first of all, because
hit me up. I got you.
I really was watching.
I put some tool on it. Hopefully everything fixes good. Hers is diva out. Like you can get the regular t-shirt, but I can also diva it out for you if you want.
Yeah, we definitely want it diva out like you. And I just wanted to ask you a question, okay? So you and your husband being a boxer, I'm asking you this. If you had when you guys have a child in the future, or whenever that may be, would you allow your child to be a boxer if that's what they want to do?
Well, even if they don't want to do it, they're going to learn the skills. They're going to learn how to defend themselves. They're going to learn the art of boxing, because boxing is such a huge part of our lives, me and Glenn. And if they want to do it, I would just educate them, and I would just support them. I support them in whatever they wanted to do. But I don't know. You got to talk to Glenn on that one. I don't think I will force them to do it, because we'd have been through hell and high water. But I would support them, and if they're inspired, I'm gonna have their back 120%.
Yeah. And I just wanted to get into the whole fashion world. Do you have any projects that you're working on so far in terms of fashion?
Yeah. So in April, I was the cover girl for the Baltimore Style magazine. I actually had the opportunity to showcase 2 of my original designs. So I'm a published designer. I've been working on a ready-to-wear boxing collection. So, when boxing picks back up, if the boxers need uniforms, we already have some in stock that's custom and boutique style. What else is going on? Oh, I've already started on my uniform, because, it's a performance. It's not just fighting for me. didn't get to be a huge, you know, song singer songwriter. But every time I step on stage, I feel like a performer. I'm Beyonce. I'm Michael Jackson. So I've already started creating that outfit for my next fight, and I'm moving over into conventional fashion. So it's just little steps at a time. Hopefully, if things open back up and get back on track, I'll be able to showcase my first collection at one of Catwalk Boutique's fashion shows.
Oh, that's amazing. We're definitely going to be on the lookout for that. I can't wait.
Thank you.
Show. I hope I get an invite because I'm definitely going to be there to support.
Of course. Maybe coming up there to see you.
Yes, I can't wait. And honestly, do you have any news in terms of boxing? Like, you know, what's going on with boxing? Are they planning this? I don't know. I've been hearing, I don't know. I have been hearing that maybe they're thinking about doing boxing shows with no fans. Is that true, or is that just a rumor?
Yeah, that's an option just for liability and safety of the fans. I know that Top Rank is having some cards in June per press releases. I spoke to my promoter. There's a possibility in July they'll start going again, maybe around July 4th. Yeah, definitely they're thinking about not doing it without fans, and a lot of the other top level fighters, some of them are opposed to that. But for me, safety is first, and we all have to eat, we all have to entertain, and you know, there's still opportunity to you know, watch those networks, ESPN, Showtime, DAZN, and out the safety of your own home. We're just all going to have to adapt and navigate this new structure of boxing. But I do feel and I do believe that sooner than later, we'll get back to having our beautiful fans ringside and watching us get busy in the ring.
Yeah, I do too. I feel like it's going to be coming soon. The importance, you're right, safety that you've touched on. And
yeah, that's the first thing, being safe for us and for the fans and for the staff. And, you know, I just want to shout out all the essential workers out there putting their lives on the line, from the lowest to the highest. It's not easy, and you're respected and loved. And I just hope everyone, even if you lost someone, you just, you know, push through and keep fighting and keep moving.
Absolutely. And I do feel like, you know, either way, I'm a type of person that watches boxing. You know, I'm like, you know, I'm all subscribed to all of the, you know, the DAZN, the ESPNs, the Showtime, all of that. So I do follow boxing very well. So we're definitely going to be on the lookout, and you know, we can't wait for you to see you in the ring, to see everyone in the ring. And you know, I miss boxing so bad. You know, I don't know, it's been such a part of my life for a while that I really miss it. And I just wanted to ask you a question, because we were discussing this the other day with a few other media in boxing, and you may not have this answer, but when it comes to, I don't know, maybe I'm being biased, but when it comes to boxing and UFC, there's nothing wrong about UFC, but I don't like UFC really. I'm into boxing, and I don't know why boxing, like, I feel like boxing is picking back up, but why is it not on the level of UFC?
I like to think because boxing is a martial art, despite what people think. It's a discipline. UFC, you have people who come from different other disciplines like judo or like boxing and karate, and they're mixing it all in one. I just think that, I don't know, it's rules in UFC, and it's a lot more rules in boxing, and everybody likes, you know, just to be able to go for what they know. I respect anybody who steps in a cage or a ring, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure. It's a lot. It's the business side of boxing can, you know, hold back why some of the popularity isn't, you know, equal to the UFC. But I know I love boxing. I just love watching it, because anytime, like, you could be getting your ass whooped for 9 rounds and come back in that 10th round and knock them out, and that's an amazing thing.
And you never know what can happen in terms of boxing. I don't know. There's something about boxing that I'm just like, I feel like it's just a historical sport. It's just there. And, you know, it's just amazing. And
Boxing is life.
yeah, boxing is life. And do you think that with like, for in terms of women, would you fight a UFC fighter?
I'll whoop their ass.
I know.
Whoever getting ass whoop, excuse my French. Fuck their head and all the belts.
Yeah, I'm sure some of the UFC fighters are watching you and they're saying, "Girl, I want that belt. I want that belt." So
yeah. To see some good fights. If you go to my Instagram page, we just did, you know, they have these social media challenges. So we did a big boss fight with women, top women in boxing, top women in MMA, jiu-jitsu, all these Muay Thai world champions. So for me, that was a great show of unity, and it was an honor to be in a video with these ladies and just showing, yeah, I box, they do another discipline, but you know, we're all trying to fight this COVID-19 and get through and just, you know, bring entertainment to our fans. That's the most important thing.
Absolutely. And on that note, I just want to say thank you so much, because I've heard about this movement that you've been doing. We're definitely going to be on the lookout for your Instagram. Everybody follow Franchon on Instagram. She's on Facebook and she's on Twitter. If you can repeat your handle one last time, sorry.
At the HH Diva, THEHHDIVA.
Perfect. And we'll be on the lookout. I know that you've been on this whole movement of like having these women do these videos. A lot of people told me about it and said that Franchon's doing this great thing. So thank you so much for introducing us to some of the ladies we didn't also know that are such experts in their, you know, their field. So we love you so much, and we're gonna definitely follow your journey.
I'll be coming out with some music too. So that's one thing on my bucket list. I'll be doing that, and just stay tuned for that.
We're definitely gonna stay tuned for that. But are you gonna play some of your music going into the ring?
I'm working on a whole new. The last one last day, my last fight, I actually bought some dancers that from Torch dance company, and I had a tribute since I was in Texas to Beyonce, and they did a dance number. I designed all the uniforms, designed my uniform. So my next fight, I'm taking it up, and I think I might be coming out to my own music. So stay tuned. Make sure you stay tuned.
Definitely stay tuned, and thank you so much for showing us love today. We love you, Franchon, and thank you, Sisi. Take care.
Thank you so much for watching. I'll be posting a video every week. Just subscribe in the button below, and you will see a little bell, and it will notify you whenever I have a new episode up. Make sure to also comment and like below in the column. I would love to hear your opinions and any guests you would want me to have on my show. Thank you so much, and have a great day. Love you guys.